There's a lot to be said for avoiding the beaten path. Take Florida in the States, for example. Ginny Springs near Gainesville has 7 springs set within 200 acres of wooded wilderness, where campers and recreational vehicles are welcome, along with people who just want to play for the day. Scuba divers can explore the vast underwater caves, and wannabe divers can master their skills from a team of instructors.
Behind me sits the spring pool for Jenny, which is 15 feet deep, and at the depth of 15 feet you find the entrance into Jenny Springs Cavern. It goes back into a room that's about 6 feet tall, and that leads to the breakdown where large limestone boulders have broken down from the ceiling in the past. Over those you will find the ballroom, which has a sand floor and steel bars restricting your access into the cave, which makes it a very safe place to dive. Florida is constructed of ancient reef, which is turned into limestone. This limestone has been eroded over the eons by groundwater that has percolated down and traveled through the aquifer. As the water travels through the aquifer, it erodes and moves through and has formed cracks and boils up to the surface. Where it boils up to the surface, you have these springs.
The water temperature stays at a pleasant 72 degrees Fahrenheit year-round, but there's more to Ginny Springs than diving. There's tubing, a sport that demands a skill of its very own, like transporting these overblown plastic donuts.
Should be very interesting.
The lovely Santa Fe River is an ideal place to float an afternoon away. This resort, with more than 2 miles of riverfront campsites, is heaven for wilderness campers. Canoeing, snorkeling, tubing, or diving for beginner or advanced diver, it's all there. Keep exploring, and in Alachua County, you'll find the house where Marjorie Rawlings wrote her much-loved books, The Yearling, Cross Creek, and many more. Valerie Rivers is the museum's manager.
One of the more interesting things that people find out when they come here is that Marjorie Rawlings also wrote a cookbook called Cross Creek Cookery. She thought cooking was very important. She considered it as high of an art as writing was, and she said, you can take issue with my writing as much as you want, but indifference to my cooking is liable to throw me into a rage.
With its vast forests and broad, quiet rivers teeming with wildlife, it's easy to see why the author loved the wilderness of Alachua County. Take a 2-hour canoe ride on the Santa Fe River, and you'll spot dozens of turtles. They're called yellow-bellied sliders. Along with gray heron, tall ibis with their curved beaks, white egrets, dragonflies and butterflies, and an alligator pretending to be a log. In north-central Florida, where the Steinhatchee River rolls down to the sea, you'll find a recreation of a cracker village.
Got its name from the cowboys who cracked their whips to move the cattle around, and their houses they lived in were known as cracker houses. When I conceived the idea of building a resort in this small fishing village, I wanted a style of architecture that felt natural here. We found us an architect who was an expert in vintage architecture at the University of Florida, and he helped to lay out the community to make it look like a village from, say, 1890 in North Florida. In those days, small villages, people would have had chickens and goats and cows and horses, and they would have had things for the kids to play, a swing from a tree, or swing on the porch, or rocking chairs, a garden and a vineyard. And so we've got all of those things here at the Landing. We want people to feel like they have really stepped back in time.
Steinhatchee Landing has something for everyone. Seniors enjoy the historic ambience, and families revel in all the activities. From the petting zoo with its herd of hungry goats to the paddocks with its gentle horses, kids make new friends at every turn. And those cracker houses? They may look old-fashioned, but they boast all the amenities. So next time you're planning a trip to Florida, take a few days to head off the beaten path and discover its hidden treasures. For more information, visit our website on topoftheworld.net.